everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel of Mr. Fibbler Loons, and today I'm doing Game Week 7 predictions of the Premier League, and I'm going to be starting off on the 30th of September, and it's Aston Villa at Villa Park facing Brighton and Hove Albion. Now this game is going to be a very interesting game, and first thing I'm going to point out is that it's going to be high scoring. Brighton and Hove Albion has scored 18 goals in their first 6 games, and Aston Villa has scored 12 goals in their first 6 games. And Ollie Watkins just got his first goal of the season for Aston Villa. The Bundesliga wingers, Leon Bailey and Moussa Diaby, is absolutely sensational. Aston Villa are looking really good, and with the home advantage as well, they are going to perform well. They got a good win, 1-0 away against Chelsea, but Brighton are also performing really well. That first half, the goalkeeper did make the mistake there against Bournemouth, but overall, Mitoma came on 15 seconds into the game, straight away goal. Good 1-2 with Espinyan. It was fantastic. Mitoma is sensational. 2 goals in his last game. So overall, I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be 4 goals. But I think these two sides are so close in quality at the moment, I'm going to have to go down the middle. I'm going to say 2-2 in this game. The next game is Manchester United at Old Trafford facing Crystal Palace. And you know what, Manchester United, it's another unconvincing win against Burnley. Burnley definitely played well against Manchester United. Yes, they are not performing well in their first 6 games. You know, it's not been good enough. They obviously have a couple of good players, Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. Can I say, that's a fantastic goal by Bruno Fernandes. A great little volley from him. Marcus Rashford creating a lot. Johnny Evans with a great ball, can I say. They did get the win over the line, and I think they're going to do that again against Crystal Palace. I feel like it could still go either way, because Crystal Palace are a very good team. You know, with Eze, Edouard on form now. And they've got a good defence in Anderson. But overall, Manchester United at home, they get these unconvincing wins. And I feel like it's going to be another unconvincing win for Manchester United. I feel like they're going to win it 2-1. Moving on to the next game, it is Newcastle United versus Burnley. It's at St James's Park. And while Newcastle United, away from home, against Sheffield United, won at 8-0. 8 different goal scorers. Everyone's talking about it. And it's sensational. Everyone got on the score sheet for Newcastle. Daniel Byrne and Sven Botman, who don't usually score, managed to get into the score sheet. It's fantastic. And at home, at St James's Park, you know, they're going to have to keep up this form. I don't think Newcastle will get a clean sheet, because Burnley do have a good attackers. You know what? They deserve the win in that Manchester United game, or at least a point in that game. And their attack, they do play attacking football. And I feel like they will get a goal against Newcastle. Newcastle's clean sheet run will come to an end, but Newcastle has to get this over the line. They've been absolutely sensational in recent times, drawing with AC Milan, getting a win against Brentford, thrashing Sheffield United away from home, breaking records, and at home, they're obviously the favourites, so I'm going 3-1 to Newcastle United. Moving on to the next game, it is Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux Stadium facing Manchester City. And while Manchester City won at 2-0 against Nottingham Forest, but their side, you know, it's getting paper thin. They're losing players. Rodri got sent off for doing something very silly. They don't have Kevin De Bruyne. A lot of players have left the club. They have brought in the likes of Doku, which we've seen him in a couple of games so far, and he does look threatening. He is rapid. He can get past players very nicely for Manchester City, and obviously Erling Haaland. So I think Man City are still going to win this. Wolves, obviously, you know, just about got a 1-1 draw against Luton Town. And Neto is absolutely sensational for Wolves. Absolutely sensational. By far, Wolverhampton Wanderers' best player. At home, I feel like they will get a goal. I feel like Neto will definitely be involved in that goal, because he has been in the majority of Wolves' goals. But Manchester City is Manchester City. Even with all these players out injured, suspended, left the club, I still feel like they'll get it over the line against Wolves, which only had 0 shots at halftime against Luton Town, and overall only had 3 shots the entire game. So I'm going 3-1 to Manchester City. Moving on to the next game, it's at the Vitality Stadium. It's AFC Bournemouth facing Arsenal. You know what? I could see a draw here. Arsenal has got a draw against Fulham 2-2, which are kind of a similar quality club to AFC Bournemouth. And with Bournemouth being at home, I could see this being a shocking draw. Arsenal obviously have the better of the chances, but Bournemouth versus Brighton, they took the lead. They were pressing, they were high pressing, constantly trying to force a mistake against Brighton. And I feel like they will get a goal in this game. I think, the likes of Solanke up front could definitely score. Kluivert hasn't been too bad either. But overall, they haven't got a win yet against Arsenal, which are sensational. Obviously got a 2 draw against Spurs. They're going to be wanting to get back in winning form after a draw. I could definitely see a draw, but Arsenal have to get a win against Bournemouth, who haven't won at all this season. So I'm going for a narrow 2-1 win to the away side Arsenal. Moving on to the next game, it is at the London Stadium, the huge London Stadium. It's West Ham United versus Sheffield United. And while Sheffield United, to be fair to them, they did have a few injuries against Newcastle, but they just walked into defence. Where was the defence too against Newcastle? Absolutely shambolic. And now they're not even at home. They're going away to West Ham United, who did lose to Liverpool, but that's Liverpool, isn't it, at the end of the day? And can I say, I'm going to say that Jaron Bowen's goal was goal of game week 6. There was a few competitors, like Darwin Núñez's goal for Liverpool could have definitely been a competitor. That could have been, but I'm going to go. It was a really worked well goal for West Ham United. Paqueta's ball over the top, a lovely ball in, and it was a fantastic diving header by Jaron Bowen. They're going to win in this game. Simple as that. Home advantage. Sheffield United lost to 8-0. I'm going 2-0 to West Ham United. I don't feel like Sheffield United are going to recover after that 8-0 result. Moving on to the next game, it is Everton at Goodison Park facing Luton Town. And well, I think it shocked pretty much everyone who watches the Premier League that Everton went to Brentford at the G-Tech Community Stadium and won at 3-1, which was sensational. I feel like it was more like Brentford, their passing was not on point. They made mistakes and Everton just capitalised on it. I don't see Everton losing at home, but you know what? They actually are better on the road statistically this season because they've gotten 4 points on the road and just 0 points at home. But I feel like they will get a point against Luton Town, but Luton Town, they deserve to win. Now, the penalty they did get, that Colton Morris slotted away really nicely. I don't think it was a penalty, but I feel like Luton Town definitely deserved something in that Wolves game. They were absolutely dominant in that game. They've improved every single game so far. They're improving, and surely against Everton, who've gotten 0 points at home, I feel like they're going to get a point, Luton Town. I feel like Everton's shown some good signs against Brentford to win at 3-1. Calvert-Lewin getting a goal. I think that was a goal that he really wanted to get because he hadn't scored for a while. He's been injured and all. That's a really calm, cool, collective goal for Calvert-Lewin. But overall, these two sides are going to be struggling in a relegation battle. I'm going down the middle, 1-1. I feel like Luton Town shown some good signs. It's another improvement for them. They're much more attacking. And against Everton, yeah, I'm going down the middle. I can't split these sides going into this game. Moving on to the next game, it is Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium facing Liverpool. And well, I think this has to be game of game week 7. It's going to be a very interesting game. Liverpool unbeaten, Tottenham unbeaten. Tottenham got 2-2 draw against Arsenal, going against Liverpool, which haven't lost a Premier League game for 16 games running now, I believe. They took the form for the end of last season and they put it into this season. They're absolutely sensational. When they go a goal down, they always get back into it, like against Wolves, like against Newcastle United, that late drama. Darwin Núñez's goal, I think, could compete for game week 6 goal of the week, but I went for Jaron Bowen, as I said earlier in the video. But that was sensational. Now McAllister getting onto the goal contributions, creating something. They're creating loads. I don't see Liverpool losing it. They haven't lost for a very long time in the Premier League. As I've said, 16 games unbeaten. I feel like Tottenham aren't going to lose either. I'm going down the middle again. Tottenham, James Maddison's son's absolutely sensational. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Ange Postecoglou, the statistics are completely changed this season for Tottenham and Ange Postecoglou. It's been absolutely sensational. So I'm going to have to go down the middle. Both teams are going to keep an unbeaten streak in this season so far. And I'm going 2-2 high scoring in this game. Moving on to the next game, it's actually a whole new day. It's the 1st of October. It's at the City Ground, Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. And well, Brentford, that was a terrible game. That was honestly an awful. That's not the Brentford I remember. It's definitely not the Brentford I remember. They were making silly passes. Their passing was not on point. Definitely not on point. Facing Nottingham Forest, which just came off a 2-0 loss against Manchester City. Yeah, that's Man City. I don't see Forest going down. I also don't see Brentford going down. And you know what? Nottingham Forest at home is a very good Nottingham Forest. So I feel like they might be able to get a point. And the fact that Brentford have drew a lot this season, the majority of the games they have drew, They got the most draws last season. I feel like Brentford, after that 3-1 defeat, I don't feel like they're going to straight away recover, especially at the City ground. So I'm going down the middle, 1-1 in this game. Moving on to the next game, it's the 2nd of October, whole new day yet again. It's Fulham at Craven Cottage facing Chelsea. And well, Chelsea, I've backed them up in a lot of these game weeks. I said they'll get a 2-2 draw against Aston Villa. I don't know why I went so high scoring. But in this game, I'm going low scoring. This looks like a 0-0 result all over it. Like they drew 0-0 against Bournemouth. Like they keep their games very low scoring. I mean, if you look at it, their expected goals, yeah. They're 6th in the Premier League in expected goals. That obviously shows that they can't finish their beans. Mudryk and Nicholas Jackson are really linking up really well. Raheem Sterling's creating a lot. His speed is sensational. But it's just not gelling. It's just not clicking for them. But I feel like against Fulham, they're going to have to prove something. You know, Fulham are currently mid-table and 11th. Chelsea are a bit below them. But you know what? Their defence, they've only conceded 6 goals in 6 games. So it's going to be low scoring. But this might be the last time I back up Chelsea. Because I'm going 1-0 to Chelsea. Just about. I could definitely see this being 0-0. But I'm going to back up Chelsea. I'm going to say they're going to finally get underway with a goal. And something's going to gel and they're going to get 3 points. But before I do end the video there, last week was my best ever week this season so far. And overall from last season, it also is my best week. So overall it's my best week so far. I got 10 points out of the 20 points. I got 3 exact results right, which is absolutely fantastic. Which puts me on a solid 46 points out of 118 points so far. Hopefully you can like and subscribe, and always remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss one of my fantastic YouTube videos. I'll see you next time. Toodle pip now.